Hello everyone, welcome back to the first video on the Algebra series. I hope that the number series you found it useful and it went well. If you've not seen that, I do recommend checking that out before you move on to any of the other categories, as the number series really solidifies, gives you all the basics of all of the maths and everything you need to know beforehand. So it is worth checking out, even though it is very basic and very simple, but there might be some things you might have forgot. I mean, going through it myself, there is quite a few things that even I completely went to the back of my mind about how to do it. So yeah, I would check it out before you continue with algebra. But today's video, we're going to be going through an algebra intro. We're going to be showing you what is algebra. We're going to be going through the different signs, the different multiplication, and then finally simplifying expressions. So, what actually is algebra? So if you look at all of these different terms on here, all these different letters and numbers and different equations and stuff, it might seem baffling, but when you actually break it down, it's literally just using letters to represent numbers. So for example, going very basic, x is equal to 2. So you're basically just taking a letter, saying x, and you're saying that is equal to 2 throughout the rest of the equations. So whenever you see an x, you would then basically see a 2. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would you need this? Why wouldn't you just write 2 instead? It basically just helps you solve equations. So it helps you find unknowns. So for example, if we take x plus 3 is equal to 5, and I said find x, you could then solve this equation by taking away 3 from both sides of the equal sign. So whatever you do on one side, you do to the other. So to get x on its own, you take away 3. So x plus 3 minus 3, took it away from there, and then 5 take away 3. And then if you cancel that one out with that one, and solve it down, you get x is equal to 2. So it basically just helps you solve equations. Now, it's really tricky with signs in algebra. Your teacher might have told you that 2 wrongs don't make a right, and now I'm here to tell you that that is actually wrong with algebra. So what I mean by that is, if I told you to start walking backwards on this number line, you would head down there, and then if I said walk backwards again, you would walk down there, and you would end up at the plus. So this is only for multiplying or dividing, but if you have 2 minuses, so you times a minus by a minus, you do end up with a plus. Now, I'll go through the other 2 rules. A minus and a plus, if you times them together, the minus does overtake, and you end up with a minus. This is different for adding and subtracting, so try not to get confused with that. If you have 2 positives, you do end up with a positive as well. So let's actually start applying it now. So using these rules at the top right, I'm going to give you an equation, and I would like for you to pick which one is the correct answer. So, minus 7 times by minus 2. If we look on here, that is the top one. So that is equal to 14. Next one, 8 divided by minus 4. That one is the second one, as you have positive 8 divided by minus 4. Then let's go to 3. Minus 3 times by 5. So that is again the second one with minus 15. Let's go with 4. Minus 12 divided by minus 6. That's 2 minuses, so that is the top one. And now finally, minus 10 plus 4. So now this is a bit of a trick question. Because I put a positive 4, like a plus 4, you can't actually use this table at the top right. You just have to kind of go whichever one's bigger. So minus 10, if you add 4 on, you get minus 6. So yeah, that table at the top, it only works when multiplying or dividing. Quick tip now, if I give you AB, there's basically a hidden multiplication sign in the middle. So if we bring that out, there it is. So if there's 2 letters together, you're kind of hiding a multiplication. So some common combos now, X, Y, Z, all of them have multiplication signs in the middle. The X is basically invisible. If you have AB squared, only the thing that's squared is squared. So for AB squared, only the B is squared. However, if it's in brackets, everything in the brackets gets squared. So there's 2 of A's and then there's 2 of B's. Now for this last one, if there's a multiple on the outside of a bracket, only the brackets get squared. So as you can see here, there is not 2 M's, there is only 2 of the inside of the brackets. Quick recap, I went through the definition, the different signs for multiplying and dividing, a quick tip on a basic general rule for checking if stuff's multiplied together, and then ended it with multiplication. So thank you for watching this. I hope that this algebra introduction is useful. If you want any more videos, please check out the Q&As where I'll actually go through questions of algebra. This can be one of the most tricky topics, so I would keep going through them very slowly, make some notes, and you'll do fine. Thank you for watching.